essence of the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent.
How many men have children and the children never meet their father? See, you created a void in that child because you are a part of that child.
Black power! Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Are you feeling fatigued and can barely make it through the day without some type of caffeine?
Are you on a journey of healing your body but need a little help?
Then alkaline water is what you really need.
Alkaline water has many benefits. Alkaline water can help restore pH balance in the body. Consuming beverages such as soda and coffee can make your body acidic.
Did you know that too much acid in your body has been linked to an anemia, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, autoimmune disease, chronic pain, and other chronic conditions like gout and arthritis?
Those who use alkaline water have reported increased energy levels, clearer skin, reduction in inflammation, better digestion, and many other health benefits. I've used alkaline water for years, and it's been instrumental in sustaining my health when I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis.
Are you ready to take responsibility for your body's health?
If the answer is yes, then our alkaline water is just what you need. Bring your own bottles. It's only $3 for each gallon. To place an order or for more information, you can reach us at 773-846-3091. Thank you in advance for your support.
Hi, my name is Sister Ebony Stevenson. I am your announcer for today. Welcome to the Toma Nation's weekly Sunday worship service from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. every Sunday at 616 East 71st Street here in Chicago, Illinois, and also live on Facebook. If you would like more information, you can reach us at www.facebook.com/TomaNation2 or give us a call at 773-952-8302. Now I am going to recite our opening. In the name of the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent, the one who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, and the one who made time the seed of the universe, known among the ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Aten, among the Hebrews as Ansar, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims and Islamic world as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah Rastafari, among the Yoruba tribes of West Africa as Odumare, Eshu, and many other Orisha names. I bear witness that all these names refer to the same one, Almighty Spirit, and it is to that essence which I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of those black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the Lost 13 tribe, born in North America, and are of a Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the earth flows through our veins. I greet you in the ancient but holy words of peace, Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, Habaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Now I am going to recite the 13 points of what we believe and know. Number 1. We believe and know that we are not to repeat the mistakes of the past prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator of the heavens and earth. Number 2. We believe and know that we can only establish an economic base through the application of the knowledge of self and the incorporation of the ideologies of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Mahatma Gandhi, and Ben Ami. Number 3. We believe and know that the prophets and messengers of the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, and the Kemetic Holy Books were all black. Number 4, we believe and know that Jesus Christ of 2,000 years was and is a black man. Number 5, we believe and know that the knowledge of the Almighty Creator goes beyond books written by the prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator. Number 6, we believe and know that in order to promote and coordinate unity, we must first recognize and accept the uniqueness of being able to worship our Creator, regardless of religious denomination, name, title, ritual, particular dress, or holy book, as long as it recognizes the Almighty Creator of the heavens, earth, and the universe as supreme. Number 7, we believe and know that it is impossible to tell the truth without exposing the wicked governments of the world. Number 8, we believe and know that the United States government, in collaboration with other European nations, have a denial objective to exterminate dark-skinned people of color off the earth through the act of genocide. Number 9, we believe and know that some of the most effective methods that are being used today are AIDS, birth control, alcohol and drug abuse, vaccinations, gang and domestic violence, systematic elimination of trauma centers, the public school system, and public aid within the black communities of America and the world. Number 10, we believe and know that the last trick that Satan is playing on us is the dividing of us by our religious differences, religious gangbanging. Number 11, we believe and know that the conflict between the various religions are comparable to the conflict between various street gangs within the inner cities of America. Number 12, we believe and know that the war on drugs and gangs is a diabolical plot to disarm the black community of weapons, break up the black family, withdraw our constitutional rights, also kill and incarcerate young black males under the undercover code name Able 2029. And number 13, we believe and know that every letter, shape, sound, and numerical value contains esoteric information that completely transcends the specific contextual meaning of the word. Our purpose: to bring about the growth of a righteous community in accordance with the laws of the Creator of the universe, under the leadership and guidance of Brother Minister Raheem Quasad Oxen, to provide solutions to the social and economic ills that plague the communities of urban America. Our goal: to re-educate and retrain youth and young adults to develop positive moral values as an alternative to delinquent behaviors, because you can't rebuild a community and not rebuild the minds of the residents of the community to meet the responsibilities of maintaining the community's image. Our mission: to enhance the economic development of our communities by establishing businesses, real and personal properties, thereby creating jobs and/or entrepreneurship training programs that will reverse the concept of leaving the community to buying back the community. Our motto: let your light so shine before men that they shall see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Now we're going to recite our salute to the red, black, and green flag. Everyone put your right fist in the air and repeat after me. Here's to this flag of mine, the red, black, and green. Hopes in its future bright, Africa has seen. Here's to the red of it, great nations shall know of it. In time to come, red blood shall flow of it. Historians shall write of it, this flag of mine. Here's to the black of it, 400 million's back of it, whose destiny depends on it. The red, black, and green of it, old flag of mine. Here's to the green of it, young men and women shall dream of it, face shots and shells for it, maidens shall sing of it, waving so high. Here's to the whole of it, colors bright and pole of it, pleased is my soul with it, regardless of what is told of it. Thanks to God for giving him this great flag of mine. Please keep your right fist raised high in the air as we sing our Black National Anthem. Black power, black power, black power. Black power is the power to define, develop, and defend that which is in the best interest of Black people.
Mr. Raheem taught us that you can't get the people on the street to stop gang. The same.
to try to overthrow whatever it is. Then, in the word solidarity is the word solid. See? When we align ourselves, we become a solid, united front. And nobody can break it if we ourselves don't get in our own way. My subject for today is called Tools for Black Liberation. Tools. Now, in the Temple of Mercy Association, we truly have been trying to give our people a holistic dose of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from the three areas that we come together under in Toma. And those three areas are, health, wealth, and knowledge of self. That being the case, we had to formulate a curriculum, so to speak, for our people. That curriculum came in the form of what we call prescribed readings. And because this is Black History Month, not just because we Black 365 days of the year, but because of Carter G. Woodson making the Caucasian realize that our history matters and that we exist and our people need to know about ourselves, then I want to come to you from that perspective. But now for 12 months, we have different books that we have assigned to ourselves to give us a full, holistic, round view of where we are, where we were, and where we're going as a people, not as a religion, not as a culturalistic group. Why? Because we consider us that lost 13th tribe born here in North America. And by us being lost, you know, it's just normal or natural for a person to pull up off of something. And so all we had to pull up off of was those things that was given to us. We were given Christianity. We were given Islam. We were given a lot of different African concepts. You know, we wanted to be Yoruba. We wanted to be Dogon. We wanted to be Watusis and whatever else they are over there. We wanted to relate to something somewhere. There was a story, and I don't remember what the animals were, but it was this one animal, I think it was a chicken or something that was born. And when he was born, he walked around the farm and was asking a simple question: are you my mother? Very simple question. Because he was searching for something that he knew that if he can connect, he would be somebody. See, without nothing to connect to, you are nobody. You're just walking around. So he went around looking for his mother. And while he was going around looking for his mother, he began to imitate some of the animals that were on the farm, some of the other birds that were on the farm. See, and so just by that understanding, I'm saying, by us being the lost 13th tribe, we were asking these different groups and these different religions that were given to us, we was asking a question. And guess what it was? Tell me who I am. The white man said, I got that for you. I'll tell you who you are, nigga. Then you got the other ones. I'll give you something to hold on to: Christianity, Islam, But yet and still, see, I want to share this with you one more time. And I'm sharing this with you. I'm saying that we will remain black until someone figure out who we are. And we all agree on that's who we're going to be. But until then, we'll stay black. And if you can't deal with that, I'm sorry. Because I've had every group among us in this lost 13 tribe come to tell me, based on what they took upon themselves to become, they tried to convince me that's what I'm supposed to be. Well, if we stay black until you figure it out, we don't have to worry about that problem. So we know that black takes in all colors, and all those colors it takes to make black. So we'll accept all that you bring to us if it's right, and we'll remain black until we sit down at a table and form an alliance and become a solidarity block and start saying it's going to be this and be that and be that, and we'll be right there with you. But until you all get it together, Afro-descendant nation, Dogon, Muslim, whatever, it's okay with us. That's why we're all inclusive. We accept you. Come on in. See, but we're going to be black until you get it together. When the lost 13 tribe agree that we're going to be this, then that's what we're going to be. Until then, we'll continue to be the lost 13 tribe born in North America, and that we are of a Nubian Kemetic lineage, and that the blood of all the nations of the world flow through our veins. And until then, we say you have to accept us for that, as we accept you for what you claim. Now, what I was trying to say earlier is that we have prescribed readings, and the prescribed readings for this month here in Toma are 3 books. One book is called The Stolen Legacy by George G. M. James. And I'm hoping I'll get a chance to tell you about him a little bit. But the other book is called The Husil, and I have that with me. And the Husil is actually wisdom, sacred wisdom of ancient Kemet, almost like a Bible. And the last book that we study for this month is called Exploding the Myth, Nile Valley's Contributions to Civilization by Anthony T. Brown. And this book, The Husil, was actually written and transcribed by Maulana Karanga, the same brother who's the founder of Kwanzaa. See? So if you came to Toma this month, look at how much information you would get, and it would do what that question was that you heard me say. Who am I? Are you my mother? These books answer those questions. And until we reach out and pick up from each one of these groups what it is that is true and divine, we'll always be throwing away one piece of the puzzle and picking up another one, putting it in the same spot, but never leaving it there and finding out something else and then find out where it fit on the board until you got the whole complete picture. Brothers and sisters, that's what Toma does. That is what Toma reaches out to do in our studies, in our investigations and whatnot. But that's not it. We cannot blindly go and keep teaching our brothers and sisters the things that we need to know to be who we are and not expect that someone disagrees with everything we're doing. And we found that someone is the Caucasian. We found out that he's comfortable keeping us asleep. He's comfortable keeping us warring against one another. It keeps him in a comfort zone to know that we will not move to come together and get it together. And so he prospers. All right? Prosper. I mean, he gained money. I'm saying that our condition keeps his pockets full. Now, if there's a group of people who knows that our condition is their profit, I'll say that again. Of people who knows that our condition is their profit, would you really, in your right mind, think that those same people who is profiting off of our current condition would be trying their best to get us out? Really think about that. I know you are very happy with the grants they're giving you, but do you really think if they knew that those grants that they're giving you for whatever project you're doing will get us out of that condition, do you think they will still give you that grant? They will not. And if you wrote the grant and you're not doing what you said you were going to do, and what you're doing is truly working, and we're coming up out of that condition, you won't get that grant next year. And that's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, do for self. That's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, chart our own independent path. That's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we must take back that which is ours. We must take it back, not ask it back. Take back that which is ours. And it can't be just a conversation all the time. What is our religion? What is our true religion, brothers and sisters? Obey God. So what would Toma teach you? Where to find him. What else would Toma teach you? Why we call ourselves God. What else would Toma teach you? Well, somewhere in some of these scriptures, it says, know ye not that you are the temple of God? And if you will clean your temple up, I'll live there. And so Jesus showed you why we can call ourselves God, because he said, when you see me, you see the Father. That's how simple that is. If you align yourself with that type of information and knowledge, yes, you're God. And yes, the black man and black woman is God. But we got to get back in our proper position. Now I'm going to read some things because I want us to be educated, not just talked to. I want you to understand first, the title is called Tools for Black Liberation. And I want you to know a little bit real quick about the person who's responsible for Black History Month. His name is Carter G. Woodson. The G stands for good one. He was born December 19, 1875. And he made his transition April 3rd, 1950, before even I was born. Listen, he was a scholar whose dedication to celebrating the historic contributions of Black people led to the establishment of Black History Month, marked every February since 1976. Now, in 1976, it was called Black History Week. All right? From the 1st to the 7th. Later on, it continued to expand to now we got a month. But we don't have to leave it at a month. It's on us, nobody else, to prove that it's Black History 365. Knowing that we are the founders of mostly everything that exists on this planet, not the Greeks. You hear the people in your school. That's why we need our own schools and our own education system. Even though Carter G. Woodson was educated in a world, but he did do something. He left something good for us. But the true education is to tell the truth about our education. Now, what is the truth about our education? Y'all heard of these names. Pythagoras, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. Pythagoras, they say he taught geometry, science, and the science of numbers. That's a lie. He didn't. They say Socrates taught philosophy of self-education. Now, here's the thing. Let me go back and correct that. He taught that. Yes, he did. He's not the father of it. He's not the author. Socrates did teach philosophy of self-knowledge, but he's not the author. Plato taught creation and the phenomenon of the universe, but he's not the author. But they gave it to us in this education system as they were the fathers of those philosophies. But that was a bold-faced lie. I'm just telling you like it is. If we're going to be talking about Black history, we should be calling it correct Black history. That's what we got to call it. Call it what it is. We got to correct Black history. And the best way to correct it is to go back to the beginning. Look, if you just go and look it up, dealing with the root of all the inventions that made up what we're dealing with today. You look around you right now, whoever you are, wherever you are, if you're in a room, if you're on the porch, wherever you are, look around you at things that I invented. If you're on the street and you're looking at the stoplight, if you're on the street and you're looking at the pole, the lamp pole that's out there with the lights on it, if you just, no matter what, look at the mailbox, just go anywhere. And we found out the greatest lie that they told is that we did not contribute to nothing. When we come to find out that 99% of everything that was invented by us. And it didn't even stop there. Well into the 20th century, we come to find out that the idea for the computer was a Black person. We come to find out that the doom buggy or whatever that buggy is that they say they had on the moon was invented by one of us. The blueprint was laid out by one of us. The map that went into putting together those rockets that they were sending out in space was put together using actuary science from 3 Black women we found out. Look at that. How come they can tell us that? Now, when I finish talking, preferably Black man and Black woman, you'll understand why we say the Black man is God. Nobody but a God do those type of things. You in a room, is it lighted? Is it lit? Yes, who created the light bulb? A Black man. You sitting in a chair or something? Guess who created that chair you sitting in? A Black man. Are you at the table? Do you use a toothbrush? Ancient Kemet had toothbrushes, brothers and sisters, over 6,000 years ago, more than 6,000 years ago. Ancient Kemites, who they call Egyptians today, the true Kemites, had makeup, cosmetics, lipstick, wigs. Back then, not no doggone Japanese. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of people back in Kemet that are the fathers of this. They taught these guys who you heard me just name. They taught them. I said taught them. All right? They went to school in ancient Kemet. These Greeks came and went to school in ancient Kemet. Here's one. His name is Hermes, but that's a Greek name. That's the name they gave him. And you hear the word Hermes, hermits, which means he stayed to himself. But in ancient Kemet, he's Jehudi. Look up Jehudi. That's him. And look what he did and watch what they stole. Known to the Greeks, he's the last divine personage of the ancient pre-dynastic city called Anu. See, Anunnaki. Anu was down in the Nile Valley. Anu was all of the Nile Valley Peninsula, all the way where they call Ethiopia today. Ethiopia was called Anu. And the people that lived there were Anunnakis. And brothers and sisters, I will get into it one day, but they were not born here. And when I say here, I mean on earth. When they talk about it. Much like Heru, historical information about his personal life is extremely scarce. But what the ancient temples of Kemet have been able to divulge about him, for the most part, is clear and concise. He was called by the Greeks Hermes Trismegistus, something like that, by the Greeks, which means the thrice great, the 3 times great, the great great, the greatest great, and the master of masters. Now watch. Watch me dispel the lie of Euclid, Pythagoras, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Democritus. That's another one. To Jehudi we attribute writing, medicine, chemistry, law, rhetoric, the higher aspects of mathematics, astronomy, astrology, not to mention the early Kemetic understanding of the intricate dynamics of universal order. Thought was divine mind. Don't you hear what made it divine? Thoughts. Take the O out. Take the vowel out. Thoughts. And every time you see TH and a vowel next to it like E, that's talking about thoughts. So when you see the who seeth, that means thoughts. That Arthur's thoughts of what he dealt with in writing that book. These are his thoughts in the book. It came from a great man called Toma, who they also called Jehudi. All right? He was known as the messenger of the gods. Now to the Romans, not the Greeks, he was known as Mercury, under the light of the sun. The word thought is derived from that deity's name. Did I say that? Francis Barrett said of thought that if God ever appeared in man, he appeared in him. I have to let y'all read the rest of this. I just wanted to say that last line. A white man said, if God ever appeared in man, he appeared in him. Now, if we made 99% of we invented everything basically that you see around you in your presence, when you drive in your car, even your car. And we are in our sleep state over here, brothers and sisters. Can you imagine over in ancient Kemet what we were accomplishing being woke? That's hard to imagine, ain't it? You see how powerful we are just even over here. That means whatever gift we had over there, we bought it over here. Then, let's not even diminish the people that were here before Africans got here. Some of our people were already here. Everywhere you go on this globe, if you dig up what you're looking for, and you probably won't find what you're looking for, but you certainly will find us. Because we're all over the globe. We're everywhere. Why? Because we are the dominant race on this planet. And we dominated at one point in time to the point that we ruled this planet. And we are the rightful rulers of the planet. We are the landlords. Why are we paying rent? What landlord you know pay rent to itself? We are the lords of the land. They don't want to give us nothing. They don't want to give us land because they're giving back to us what is ours. And because We are naturally one with nature. If you give us back the land and we reconnect with nature, with our mother, you'll lose the war. You'll be back reconnected. Let me give you another one. There's some more stuff in here, but I'm not going to read it all. Like I said, I'm giving you a little bit because of my time. Here's another one. Imhotep. Now, we're talking about Jehudi them 3200 to 2890 before Christ, BC. And I'm going to tell you, they even wrong about that. But I'll get to that in a minute. We're talking about Imhotep, 2686 to 2613 BC, before Christ. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad expanded our mind for us using a certain prescription and formula that expanded our mind to see that these dates that the Caucasians say that these people lived, and even if it was a black archaeologist, by him getting the degree from the enemy, placed him in the same capsule that the enemy is in when it comes to calculating time and dates. So even he's wrong because he came into his conclusion using their method. And he taught us well from grammar school. If you had a method that God gave you to come to the conclusion of whatever problem he gave you to solve, if you didn't solve it the way he told you to do it, you failed that class. And so you had to adjust yourself and align yourself with his thinking. And now you come up and you use this method to find out how long a certain thing has been on this planet, that you even mistakenly think that the pyramids are only some 4 million years old or something. But when our Elijah Muhammad expanded our mind and told us that we came with the earth and that the earth was 66 trillion years old, that expanded our mind. That made us look beyond and know that if those pyramids were built, they had to be built somewhere in the trillions, not the millions. You get it? And if during that time there were people on this planet, then we got to place Imhotep and all outside of that 6,000 year period of time and place those brothers in the trillions. Look how powerful we are. Who says we can't do it? We do it the same way they just did this. They wrote it down. They taught it to somebody. And that's what we have to do. We have to teach it to our brothers and sisters. We have to expand our brothers and sisters' mind beyond their neighborhood, beyond the corner store, beyond the liquor store. We have to expand our brothers and sisters' mind beyond the United States of America, beyond Africa, but we have to become universal. Don't you understand that? How do we become universal? It really ain't becoming, we are. We are. This solar system is that solar system. The whole universe is in our subconscious mind. Every one of our cells represent the atoms that made up the earth and the universe. We are one. I don't know what he thought when he made the song, but I know what I'm talking about. Let me tell you about Imhotep real quick, and I know I'm not going to finish, but y'all got to understand that if you want to learn more about this, come see us on Sundays from 12:30 to 2. Or be with us on Wednesdays right here at 7 o'clock p.m. to 9, 616 East on 71st Street. Let's come and build together. And not only just build in knowledge, but let's come and build that we will have something that we can call our own, where we can circulate our dollars among ourselves, that we might become an economic engine that continues to refresh and renew ourselves. And then we'll be a people again. But now we know that when we get there, or if it even look like we're trying to get there, that enemy who benefits from our current condition is not going to sit there and watch. He's going to use every form of deception that he can to keep us from making it to that point. He's going to use every way or method that he knows how to continue to get us to fight with one another. He's going to work hard to divide us. And even the Bible says a kingdom divided against itself will perish. And that's why we're not getting anywhere. We're divided. The Holy Quran, even in itself, is not against you being a different tribe. He said, I created you in tribes. But he said for us to work together. So we ain't caught up in that everybody got to be of the same tribe. It's just that we got to stop talking to nations about unity. Because our concept of unity and the oneness is coming from us. But when we form a solid wall of solidarity among us and form alliances, you're supposed to be able to operate independent or come together for the same problem so we can solve it. When they wanted to get Saddam Hussein, 48 countries who didn't get along with each other came together, formed a solid block of solidarity, set aside their differences because they had the same enemy. I say that again. Set aside their differences because they had the same enemy. And once they moved on, they formed an alliance with the United States. France was involved in it even. And once they did what they set out to do, they went back to fighting with each other. Elijah Muhammad says, study this white man. Because what he do, he's successful at. You just have to study the right and true stuff that he does. Some of us keep getting it wrong and think that he meant be the white man because he is successful. Wrong. You can't be him unless you unmelanate yourself. Can you do that? I know you're trying. Got that white woman. I know our black women trying. They got that white man. Trying to unmelanate yourself. If you unmelanate yourself, brothers and sisters, you're going to hell. I'm going to tell it to you straight up. Because that's a hell of a condition to be in with no melanin. And I feel sorry for those unmelanated people. Now, moving right along, showing you about this situation I'm talking about that we learned all this from the Kemetic people. Even in the Bible, in the book of Acts, let's look it up. Acts chapter 7, verse 22. All right? And we know that Moses was taught by the Kenites. And it says here, he was learned in all the wisdom of the Kemetic people. Now I keep saying Kemetic or the Kenites. It says Egyptians. But we know that that's not the true name of that landmass or that area. It was called Kemet, meaning coal black, C-O-A-L, black. And it said he was mighty in words and in deeds, learned in all the wisdom. What kind of wisdom did he have? What kind of alignment did he have with nature? That he was able to send frogs, locusts, rain, hail, fire. He was even able to send diseases and viruses and boils, lice, insects, frogs. He was one with nature. Moses was. But he was taught this. Now, when we say teach, we understand that education means to bring out of. Our brothers and sisters back then were taught, but they were taught what they already knew because it was implanted in them even before they were born. So all the teacher had to do will send them through an initiation process, a form of a ritual that they have to do, depicting and playing out like a play, like you're acting, playing out what happened to our brothers and sisters in the past and how we got to be who we are, where we are, playing out our history in the form of a ritual that we're learning it by experiencing it. Then after we go through the ritual, we teach it by going over it verbally. So now it's implanted in your head and in your heart and in your mind. We make you become one with these things. We got to get back to it. They made that seem to be something bad or evil to be initiated. But it's how you initiate it. It wasn't the way they're doing it today. Totally different. So, Imhotep, let's talk about it. The divine priest of the third dynasty, a chief advisor to King Zoji, the first ruler of the third dynasty. Now watch this. He was God of medicine. He was called the Prince of Peace. He was known, brothers and sisters, as the first Christ. The first one. The first Christ figure. Why? Because we know that Christ is not the name of Yahshua, but it's the level that he attained in enlightenment. It was called the Christ consciousness. A level of what they call the nirvana, of peace that you can't just get anywhere. So it says he was the father of medicine. Not who they said on here. Who they said on here was the father of medicine. They don't say nobody on here was the father of medicine. So it ain't him. Little is known about his personal life. His father was an architect. They said the name of his mother. His professional achievements became legendary. Imhotep is said to have treated more than 200 diseases. Brothers and sisters, this is thousands of years ago. Among these diseases, 15 diseases was of your abdomen, stomach, 11 of your bladder, 10 of your rectum, 29 of your eyes, 18 of your skin. He, as well as other physicians in Kemet, were learned in the science of facial analysis, which allows a trained physician to detect any disease or problem through shape, through condition, and the complexion of the circulation of the blood. Brothers and sisters, over 4,000 years before it was known in Europe. We're talking thousands of years, not hundreds. Now, you know what we do, because our mind was expanded, we say trillions of years. We don't even use thousands anymore. We don't even use millions anymore. When it comes to anything that deals with Africa and the history and the first people that was on the planet, we talk in trillions, not millions. Y'all need to start practicing that. You'll wipe the white man out mentally because he can't go into the trillions. He's not allowed. No more than he's allowed to go past the third eye or the sixth chakra. He can't go there. We'll leave him behind, just in our thoughts. We become Yehudi. Use your thoughts. That's your power. Use your thoughts. Whatever a man conceives in his heart and in his mind, he can achieve. He can manifest it. Stop thinking all the negative stuff. Think of positive things to do, to be, to become. Listen to some of our lectures when Minister Omari was telling you about all of those different beatitudes and attributes that we have to have, again, to become one again with one another and one with God. This man Imhotep was worshipped as a god for the next 3,000 years. In addition to his responsibilities as being a chief physician to I can't say it, Zoja, he was a sage, he was a scribe, he was a priest, He was a grand architect. He was an astronomer and philosopher. I used to feel bad about me running all these organizations. But my God, if he can do all that, I guess I'm okay. Because all those are different fields of endeavor. But some kind of way, I know you all don't understand how the ancient Kemites can connect all of these. Just like your foot bone connected to this bone and that bone, and it becomes one whole body. I'm sure all of these different sciences have a connection to the other one, to the next one, on to the next one. If you line them up and align them in the proper way, it will be easy then to do all of that. But because your teacher teaches you something and separates it from you, then everything is splintered in all kind of different ways and directions. Yeah, you walk out with the degree from the master, but you just as dumb as you was when you got in. I know you don't want to believe that, but I'll tell you how I know. That's why you want to only be around those who went through the same thing you went through, so all y'all dumbasses can stay together. I'm sorry. Let me keep reading. I'm that slipped out. Anyway, now, he was also a poet. Look at that, black guys. And some of his work managed to live on in the present day. He's the one who said, eat, drink, and be merry. Not Caesar, for tomorrow we shall die. It is said to be taken from his work. And Hotep created for Zosia a monument that became the wonder of its age, known as the Terence or Step Pyramid. I'm sure you all seen it. Look it up. The Step Pyramid of Egypt, they call it. It dominated the skyline of Saqqara, which was the capital of Memphis. Not the Memphis down there where the cops was at. But I know they stole Memphis from ancient Kemet. Just like right here in Illinois, they stole Cairo from ancient Kemet. So even white people understand some parts of ancient Kemet. But I'm gonna tell you something that we probably don't really believe and know. And that the greatest study and the greatest specimen that they know and you don't know, and that specimen is you. You're one of the greatest scientific specimens. You know, I know you thought it was the rat, the guinea pig. No, you're the guinea pig. And that's why a lot of us are missing and can't be found. Wake up, black man. Wake up, black woman. Because if we don't, they're going to slaughter us one way or another. I continue to talk to our brothers of these different persuasions and whatnot, and we all can agree on one thing. We know that we're in a condition that's not natural for us. We know that our children are running wild because they separated us from our children. We know this, and we know the way back. But the challenge is, we don't know how to remove our little educated history to the side to learn war tactics and go to war and fight this devil. And once we win, we can go back to educating our people. But hold on to your science. Only pull from your science those things that we need, that when we at war, we be like a Teflon soldier. You can't penetrate us. Bring that to the table. Bring that to the table as a weapon. Save the knowledge part for the armchair mystics. I gotta leave that alone. I ain't got but a few minutes left. I told you a little history on Carter G. Woodson that was here in the United States. Then I took you out of the United States and took you over to Kemet, Africa. And I told you a little bit about what's going on there. And I told you that it comes from our book called The Stolen Legacy, where they stole all this from us. I'm going to read something in the stolen legacy that you might understand what's going on, brothers and sisters, and why. I mean, I've had people want to argue me down because I talk about Kemet in the stolen legacy, and they want to tell me that that ain't the only civilization over in Africa. I know, and I knew. Come on, let's stop arguing over that. I know we got all kind of different civilizations before this one. You got the Mayan civilization. That was a civilization. And we don't have to stop there. There are so many more civilizations that gets uncovered yearly. But that ain't what I'm talking about. The Mayans might have even been more spiritual than the Kemites. But I have to be honest with you, that the greatest civilization that was created was the one that the Kemites created. The more advanced, the most advanced civilization was the Kemetic. That's what you need to recognize. See, now the other ones, they had their play. I don't diminish nothing that they offered to our great history. See, so now let's watch what I'm about to say here. The ancient Kemites had developed a very complex system. It was called mysteries. It was called the mystery school, brothers and sisters. And it was the first system of salvation. In that word salvation is the word save. So it was the first system that placed us in a position to save us from who now? At that time, we were being saved from ourselves. What do you mean by that? When if we didn't use that system of salvation, we would become selfish. If we didn't use that system of salvation, then those other negative attributes would have had the front row in our life. Things like envy, things like jealousy, and all of those different things that you know are negative that keeps us back. Those things would have ruled us. So it had to save us from ourselves, being in this flesh. So that was the first thing. All right? Because why? It regarded the human body a prison house. Did you hear me? A prison house. So our first learning was, man, know thyself, and to thyself be true. So that's the first area that we had to tackle, and bringing this under control. All right? And it says that the human body was a prison house, but it can be freed or liberated from these bodily impediments. See? Now let's look at this. Bodily impediment, envy, jealousy, wrath. Bodily impediment, sin come with the body. Huh? Now some of us might think it was something different. Huh? No, but it's not. See, some of the things that come with the body is not bad. See, our eliminatory system, that eliminates things from our body. Urinary tract, our colon, those are not impediments. Some people might say, it is to me. I had to stop every few minutes to do this and that. I had to stop to eat. That's not an impediment. The impediment is jealousy, envy, wrath, vengeance, spite, and just keep going. Those are impediments. Those are things we're supposed to learn to bring under control. And that's why we went into a school that we call a mystery. Because there are some sciences and some things about our body that we don't know why it keep happening. Why is it like that? Why we gotta be that way? Why we gotta be jealous? Why do we gotta, can we get rid of it? Can we just take it and it never come back again? Brothers and sisters, it came with the anatomy. Just like the stuff that come with your car when you buy it. So now you in it. So it says, then how can we be free from it? It says through discipline, something that most of us don't like. See, I teach something called internal discipline and external discipline. Now, the first form of discipline you got to be taught is external. It's outside of you. Someone who is disciplined will have to teach you. And in his teaching, he will be teaching you how to activate internal discipline, which is now called self-discipline. Now you're ready. Now you're ready for responsibility. Now you're ready for accountability. Now you can stand up and truly say, word is bond. And in keeping your word, developing trust. See, without the word, and you being a man of your word, you can't develop trust. If your mouth say one thing and you do another, you lose trust. Word is bond. In the beginning was not trust. I just have to tell you like it is. In the beginning was the word. That's the power. It said, beware of the person whose word that when he talks and out of his mouth comes forth both blessing and cursing. Beware of that person. Watch that person. Get him out of your sight. Because it says, and it is true, one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. And if you keep that among you, your whole group will be spoiled. Right. I know this as a fact. And we got something called the 13 points of what we believe and know. And point number one is our greatest, most important point out of all of them. I don't care what else we saying. Point number one. If you master that understanding, you'll deal with the rest of it. It wouldn't be nothing. And that's not to repeat the mistakes. I didn't say the rest, but I just want you to understand that part right there. Not to repeat mistakes. Why you say that's a mistake, you gonna repeat it? You make a mistake on your paper and you erase it, you gonna repeat it? Not to repeat the mistakes. The mistakes. It's good to repeat those things that weren't mistakes, that were right, and that were good, and that worked. This movement being a nationalist movement, and being an activist movement, and being a radical movement. I know you don't like those words, white man.
The resistance.
By being a resistance movement, we have to practice a form of self-discipline. Because the enemy cannot allow us to resist what they give us and then function without any repercussions. So now, it says, we can be free from those bodily impediments through the disciplines of the arts and science. Now watch this. In advance from the level of a mortal to that of a God. Even things are trying to tell you that. All right? And when we say the black man is God, and the moment we turn Jesus black, why preacher? If you understand what you're saying and add it to what I am saying, what makes it so hard then for when you say that Jesus, a black man, is God, that you can't see yourself in the mirror? What's your problem? You said it came as an example. Why you can't follow it? If he also, 2,000-3,000 years later after Moses, was able to command the wind, to command the insects in nature and things, if he was able to use alchemy, turning water into wine, and he was able to use those powers that were within him, and he came to show us how to use those same powers, and even, preacher, said to us, greater things that I do, greater you will do. Why can't you let that sink in? Here's a God telling you that. Then the same God telling you you're going to do great. You can't see how the black man is God. Well, I'm sorry to announce, but the reason I say the black man is God is because Jesus is my brother. You don't want to hear that. Your Bible told me that we're not just heirs, but we're joint heirs to the throne. Somewhere in the Bible, it calls us children. Just translate that and say siblings. I think we'll be all right. Siblings of the Most High. And when you're talking about passing stuff down from that level of royalty, we in line. Because our brother said so. Now, I'll have, 4 minutes? 5? Okay, I'm going to now get off of Kenneth. Give you a little bit of this. Just come back again Wednesday. And may God bless you in your journey coming back. Let me give you a little something, real fast. For your listening, I'm going to read you some things that's in the book, Now Valley Civilization, so you can understand how deep this book is. It says here by Anthony Browder, many newly emerging organizations attempted to pattern themselves after the mystery schools of Kemet. Then he also said, one of the most enduring aspects of the Nile Valley civilization was the proliferation of its scientific and philosophical thought, which became known outside of Kemet as the mystery school or the Hermetic sciences. Now, that was in Stolen Legacy, so I'm correct that. This information came from the book Stolen Legacy. All right? During the Greco-Roman occupation of Kemet, this is again from Stolen Legacy, the soldiers formed a secret body for specialized scholarship and training in Hermetic science. They became known as the Druids. Druid in Old Irish language means he who knows. Now quickly, I'm going to give you a little bit of Nile Valley civilization. Get the book. Now, somewhere in there it mentions somebody named Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, a professor at Göttingen University. He invented the doctrine of racial inferiority in 1795. He, brothers and sisters, is the one who invented the term Caucasian. I'll give you another one. In 1882, Liberia was created to provide a homeland for free black slaves. Liberia was derived from the Latin word liber, which means free. Liberia was created, guess what, y'all? By America. Its governmental structure was molded after the United States system of government. Brothers and sisters, if you look at their flag, it's red and white stripes and one blue star, not 50-something, just one. When you raise those type of flags, it tells you who you give your allegiance to. Their allegiance is to America. And so when Marcus Garvey went over there to make a deal with them, I can't say whether he knew what we're telling you or not, but he was going right back into the hands of the people that he was trying to get us out of. Back going to Liberia. See? And what did they do? They denied. Last thing. Last thing. The largest lake in the world, guess what it is? In the world. No, the largest lake in the world is Lake Superior. Right here in the United States of America. The largest lake. Well, brother and sister, it's known that Lake Michigan is not really a lake. It acts and behaves like an ocean. I'll go there later. The second largest lake in the world is Lake Victoria. The two longest rivers in the world, now we'll get them. I'm giving y'all a little history. One is the Nile River, what is the other one?
Euphrates?
No. Someone said Euphrates. The Amazon River. Are the two longest rivers in the world. Now, one more thing about it and I'm through. They say that they are the only two rivers that run north, while the rest go south. I'll tell you about how they messed up our directions. The white man did. Messed up our directions and how we deal with north, south, east, and west. Be here Wednesday. I'll let you know. I leave you as I greet you in peace. Hotel, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Abaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Peace, peace.
Thank you so much for joining us for our weekly Sunday worship service. I hope that you learned something as we had Minister Raheem open up that war chest to give you the tools for Black liberation.
That's right.
If you have enjoyed what you have heard today, please feel free to support us with a donation on Cash App at TOMANATION. Once again, that's TOMANATION, and I believe it is on your screen. And our fabulous announcement today is that Toma Nation, aka Temple of Mercy Association, would like to invite you to our grand opening today here in Chicago, Illinois, in the Grand Crossing community at 616 East 71st Street at 3 p.m. You'll get a bit of spiritual food, you'll get a bit of physical food, and there will be prizes galore. So feel free to bring your family and come out and join us. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
In the essence of the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent.
How many men have children and the children never meet their father? See, you created a void in that child because you are a part of that child.